Russian President Vladimir Putin's invitation to Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić to attend the upcoming BRICS Summit in Kazan has set the stage for a historic diplomatic crossroads, one that could significantly reshape Serbia's geopolitical trajectory. After nearly 3 years without direct communication between the two leaders, Putin's offer is more than just a formal gesture. It brings with it the promise of extending a highly favorable gas contract for Serbia and potentially much more. For Vučić, the stakes are high. While the benefits of accepting are clear, the pressures from the West make this decision fraught with complexities that go far beyond gas negotiations. In a rare and highly public invitation, Putin personally asked Vučić via Serbian Deputy Prime Minister Aleksandar Vučić to attend the BRICS Summit. Such direct overtures are almost unheard of in Russian diplomacy, especially in a forum as strategically significant as BRICS, which has just expanded to include new members, now representing 45.2% of the global population and 34% of its territory. The summit itself could symbolize Serbia's potential pivot toward a new international alignment at a time when the global order is undergoing profound shifts. Putin's invitation places Vučić in an unenviable position. For years, Vučić has perfected the art of political balancing, carefully navigating between Moscow and Brussels. His deft maneuvering allowed him to maintain Serbia's ties with Russia, historically significant and vital for energy needs, while also keeping Serbia's EU membership aspirations alive. Yet, as the geopolitical landscape becomes more polarized, this tightrope act is becoming increasingly difficult to sustain. At the heart of Vučić's dilemma is Serbia's reliance on Russian gas. The current contract, which provides Serbia with deeply discounted prices, is set to expire in March, and renewing it would secure Serbia's energy future. The Serbian public widely celebrates this brotherly discount, with gas prices second only to Belarus in affordability. For Vučić, turning down an opportunity to renegotiate such favorable terms could result in significant domestic backlash, especially when combined with the opportunity to engage with BRICS, a bloc that is becoming a major force in global economics and politics. Yet the allure of BRICS, and what it represents for Serbia, extends beyond energy. As the newly expanded bloc positions itself as an alternative to Western-dominated institutions like the G7, Serbia's participation in the summit could mark the beginning of a deeper alignment with the global South. Serbia's strategic location in Europe and its vast lithium reserves make it a valuable asset for both Russia and China. It's no coincidence that China, Serbia's largest investor, likely played a role in securing Vučić's invitation. For Beijing, Serbia serves as a gateway to Europe, an anchor for further economic expansion across the continent. The BRICS Summit thus offers Vučić not just gas deals, but a potential new geopolitical path, one that might allow Serbia to escape the West's ambivalence and fully embrace a multipolar world order. However, the invitation is not without its complications. For years, Vučić has reassured Western leaders of his distance from Moscow, frequently pointing out that he has not spoken to Putin since the start of Russia's special military operation in Ukraine. A visit to Kazan would shatter this carefully curated image and risk alienating the European Union, which remains Serbia's primary economic partner and the main gatekeeper to its EU membership aspirations. Brussels and Washington have long been wary of Serbia's ties to Russia, and any move perceived as aligning Belgrade more closely with Moscow and Beijing would likely trigger fierce opposition from the West. The European Union, already wary of BRICS's growing influence, views the bloc's engagement with countries like Serbia as a potential challenge to its sphere of influence in the Balkans. The possibility of Serbia engaging with BRICS could set off alarm bells in both Brussels and Washington, where officials have grown increasingly anxious about the rise of alternative global power centers. The West's concern is not just economic, but deeply geopolitical. A Serbia aligned with BRICS would have broader implications for the balance of power in Europe. For Vučić, the decision is not just about gas or BRICS, it's about Serbia's future place in the world. Accepting Putin's invitation would signal a shift toward the east, aligning with Russia and China, in a multipolar world that is increasingly challenging Western dominance. But declining the invitation could create a domestic backlash, especially from those who see Serbia's historic ties to Russia as sacrosanct. In many ways, the invitation to the BRICS Summit forces Vučić to confront a choice he has long sought to avoid. to continue walking the tightrope between East and West, or to make a definitive pivot toward one side. With the West's lukewarm support and Serbia's growing energy needs, it may become increasingly difficult for Vučić to maintain his balancing act. In the coming weeks, Vučić will engage in delicate negotiations, likely seeking concessions from both Moscow and Brussels to keep Serbia's options open. Yet the longer he delays a decision, the more pressure will build. With the BRICS Summit set for late October, Vučić has until early October to make his choice. The clock is ticking, and the outcome of this decision could redefine Serbia's place in a rapidly changing world. The invitation to Kazan represents more than just a diplomatic overture. It is a crossroads for Serbia, one that could determine whether the country continues to hedge its bets between East and West, or finally chooses a side in the emerging New World Order.